Welcome to God in Movies, where we talk about what God is saying through Hollywood today. I'm your host, Seth Dahl. Today we're getting into one of my favorite movies ever. It's a musical, and I don't typically like musicals, but this one absolutely is gotta be one of my favorite movies. One of the best musicals of all time, The Greatest Showman. All right, so let's jump in.
Arm extended, elbow out. Pinky in the air. Arm extended, elbow out. Gently lower your cup. Arm extended, elbow out. Gracefully.
So obviously, as a young boy, he has a crush on this girl. The movie is about Phineas T. Barnum, and that young boy in that scene is him. And in this scene, his father is a tailor to a very wealthy man. So you could say this young boy has a dream to marry this girl. The second dream we're going to go look at right now in this clip.
Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home.
He takes her to look at this house, this old rundown mansion that he wants to one day buy for her. So this is dream number 2.
I think of what the world could be, a vision of the world rising, a million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
I think here he's showing her dream number 3, to have the circus. I don't think he knows it yet, what he really wants to have, but he really wants this girl. He wants to get her this house, and he's dreaming of incredible things, animals running around, animals everywhere. And so I think he's revealing to her and to us his third dream, to grow up and have the circus. So he's got all these dreams, but then something happens. Watch this.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we lost our minds.
Her dad obviously does not want him pursuing his daughter, and so she's being sent off to a school somewhere, a boarding school, and he's heartbroken that he's lost her.
I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
Obviously, he's not given up on the girl writing her letters, but now his dad gets sick and dies, and so we're about to see his journey from a young man to a grown man.
Come join the great American Railroad. 3 meals a day, roof over your head, fair and ample wages. Come, make your fortune. See the open plains of America. Opportunity awaits you, sir, out on the rails.
Sir, I know I don't come for much, but I will take care of your daughter and I will give her life as grand as this one.
So obviously, he went from poor to poorer, grows up, starts doing decent for himself, and comes back to fulfill dream number 1, to get the girl. So he gets the girl, dream number 1 comes true, and then we're going to go to the next clip where dream number 3 comes true, the circus.
ask how heavy you are. Do you have a number for that?
I prefer not to say,
Just
but
between you and me. 500 pounds. 750 pounds?
So he puts together this unusual group of people and creates the circus. And it becomes so successful. Let's see what happens next.
Don't you think there's enough blind trust in my life?
Well, isn't that what makes it fun? Keep coming. Okay. Are you ready?
Is it?
It is.
That's dream number 2. It's now come true. Dream number 1 was to get the girl. Dream number 3 was to create the circus. Dream number 2 was to get the girl and his daughters this house that they went in when they were children. All of his dreams that he had are coming true. So much so that the Queen of England invites him and the circus to come and visit her. Let's go there now.
The master of the household has it in command of the Queen to invite Mr. Phineas T. Barnum and his theatrical troupe to a reception at Buckingham Palace.
The Queen Victoria, is this real?
I had to pull a few strings. Your Majesty.
So they get the attention of the Queen of England and all is going well. But while he's there, he also meets Jenny Lind, an opera singer, and he decides to start putting on shows with her for high society. And now this is where the movie gets really interesting because he starts leaving the circus to go on tour with Jenny Lind. And so the scene we're going to watch now is where he's actually on a train with her. He's gone and his wife is singing a song about how much she misses him. When it gets to this point in the movie, I start asking myself, all of his dreams have come true. He's got the wife he wanted. He's got amazing daughters, the house he wanted, the circus, the attention of the most powerful people in the world. And now it seems like he's sabotaging everything for this other dream, to reach the high society, to impress high society. And I ask myself, what is causing him to self-sabotage like this? So in order to find out what it is that's causing it, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning of the movie where he had the crush on the daughter. Let's go there now.
Charity, come here.
Your dress. Is this how we've taught you to behave?
It's my fault, sir. I made her laugh.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Right here is the cause of why he's self-sabotaging later in life. This father has communicated to him with that slap, you are not good enough for us. Now, what's interesting here is when the devil comes to every human, as you can see with Eve, he doesn't just directly tell lies all the time. Now, we know he's the liar and the father of lies, but he doesn't directly tell lies. He weaves his lies into questions, so we will begin to try to answer those questions. So I think what's happening right here is this boy is being asked a question, am I good enough? The father's trying to answer it for him. You're not good enough. But the rest of his life, that question is still there. And when he's on the road with Jenny Lind, he's trying to answer that question. He's trying to prove that he's good enough for this guy and his type of people. And if you notice from the people that he gathered for the circus, all of them have been told the same thing. They've all been communicated to, you're not good enough for society. So he's trying to answer a certain question in his life, And he's attracting people who are trying to answer the exact same question themselves. They're all trying to answer the question, am I good enough? But here's where it gets really crazy for me.
Ew, what's that smell? Do you smell that? Ew, something does smell. Oh, I know what it is. Peanuts.
He got asked that question as a child, and now his daughter is being asked the exact same one. Those kids are answering it for her, trying to tell her, you're not good enough. Even though she's the best ballerina in the group, her dad ends up trying to answer the question, trying to tell her, you're better than them, you're totally fine, but she can't hear him. Now, what's interesting to me is that he tries to answer that question for her, but he hasn't answered it himself. And he's self-sabotaging his own life, his own dreams, because he's still trying to answer it. Now, I know for me, my question wasn't, am I good enough? My question was, am I wanted? Because my parents got divorced when I was really young. And so I always tried to answer that question with everything I was doing. Am I wanted? And one day I went to Jesus and he said, I didn't want to go to the cross. I endured the cross because I wanted you. And I realized, I'd been trying to answer my question with all these things, with what I could do, with what I could achieve, with what I had, instead of going to God. Now, in this final clip, he doesn't go to God, but he discovers that he already had his answer in his wife, in his kids, and in the circus, the community that was around him. His question was already answered, and he found it.
I never wanted anything but the man I fell in love with.
Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart.
However big, however small.
From now on.
From now on.
So he reconciles with his wife, goes back to his family, and goes back to the circus. They have to rebuild everything because it gets burned down, destroyed completely. But they do. So what's God saying to us through this movie? Well, all of us have a question that we're trying to answer. For me, it was, am I wanted? For him, it was, am I good enough? For the people around him and his own daughter, it's, am I good enough? Now, I don't know what your question is, but I want to encourage you. If you see any areas of your life where you're sabotaging the good things that God has brought you, you're sabotaging the dreams come true in your own life, you may want to check, am I trying to answer my question with something other than God, with something other than what He has put in my life? Once you get that question answered, it's amazing what can happen. He didn't run off anymore. He didn't sabotage anymore. He rebuilt. God can rebuild with us the things that we sabotage when we let Him be the one to answer our question. So thanks for joining me for The Greatest Showman. If you like this, click the subscribe button where we'll keep talking more and more about what God is saying through Hollywood today. I'm Seth Dahl, and this is God in Movies.